नमो नमस्ते गुरवे महात्मने विमुक्तसंगाय सदुत्तमाय नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्ने सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्ने नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वाराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते। हरि ओम जय गुरु। So we have come to the end of the chapter here, and I had the day before yesterday or yesterday I had already, we had chanted this, I think, that Arjuna's question, Kairlingais Trin Gunanetan Atito Bhavati Prabhu Kimachara Katham Chaitan Trin Gunan Ativartate. That I have already explained also. That a person who has become a Gunatita, how he will be known? What are his characteristics? In all these cases, these lakshanas are more important for finding out about myself, not about others. Because others you cannot be, mostly we will be wrong in judging. Because seeing just some behavior, we will make some judgment, which will generally be wrong. So, and the meaning, the purpose is not that. The purpose of the Shastras is to liberate ourselves, to improve ourselves, to attain the ultimate auspicious goal. Now chant repeating me. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha
Prakasham cha pravrittim cha
mohameva cha pandava
mohameva cha pandava
nadveshti sampravrittani
nadveshti sampravrittani
na nivrittani kankshati
na nivrittani kankshati.
14th chapter, 22nd verse. In reply to Arjuna's question that what are the symptoms by which we will know. 22nd verse. prakasham cha pravrittim cha
prakasham cha pravrittim cha
mohameva cha pandava
mohameva cha pandava
nadveshti sampravrittani
nadveshti sampravrittani
na nivrittani kankshati.
na nivrittani kankshati.
He says that prakasha means sattva guna effect, pravritti means rajoguna effect, moham, that tamo guna effect. He says that all three, they are needed, as we have already discussed. They will come and go. Sometimes this will be more, sometimes that will be more. All these are necessary for anything existing in the world. The problem I have identified already, the sangha we develop to certain things, and that sangha causes the bondage, that is clinging to a certain guna aspect or so. So what we have to do is to get rid of the sangha. Now he is saying the person who has got rid of the sangha to the effects of the gunas, how does he behave? He says that whether it is a sattva guna prakasha, rajoguna pravritti or tamoguna moha, nadveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. He doesn't hate any of this guna coming up, or he doesn't cling to also na nivrittani kankshati. That it should go, oh, why that rajoguna has come, it should go, not like that. The gunas should be allowed to play without binding me, without the ego, without the desire. The whole world will become a causal functioning world, the play of three gunas, where I am just a witness. It is playing, not witness, actually the whole world is appearing in me, as I have explained yesterday with the diagrams and all. But I am not getting tainted or affected by anything happening in because that I is not an object. Any change which we see happening means we are knowing that is an object. The subject cannot undergo any change at all. Suppose from childhood, can you count the kind of thoughts, emotions and the expressions your mind has produced? Right from childhood. We are going on, even in a day also we will not be able to count how many things have gone. But has anything happened to the mind? If it was getting completely, it will get pulverized by this, if it was affected by the thoughts and all. Nothing happens, it remains free. Only we develop certain clinging, by that we think that my mind has become depressed, my mind has become elated and all that. Actually the mind is only playing with all this, it is throwing up, just like the sea. Waves after waves are coming. Some are breakers, some are small waves, some are big waves. The sea doesn't get changed by that. The sea, it holds everything over there. In the second chapter it is said that like the ocean, the rivers are coming in, the vapor is going out, the sea doesn't get affected by anything at all. It allows the vapor to go. It allows some rivers are pure water, some are drain water, some are absolutely filthy water. The sea accepts everything and it gets mixed with the salt and finally it becomes the same sea water. From there again the vapor goes, again the rain falls and the rivers come. It is going on like this. If the sea was getting attached to its, no, I don't allow the filthy water to come here. It doesn't say. To the vapor it would say that no, I won't allow my water to be taken away by the sun. The whole functioning is taking place in this sahaja manner. We say the natural, sahaja means easy, natural way the whole universe is functioning. We also should function like that. Now, one thing you have to remember, this is describing a person who has got rid of the bondages created by the gunas. Otherwise, you are lethargic, you are sleeping throughout the day and all, you will say that no, Swamiji said that Gunatita should not feel bad about, and you continue to do that. Somebody says that, oh, the whole world is Brahman, so why should I not do this or why should I do this? What is the harm if I do take to some criminal means, because the whole world is Brahman? So these are all because to say that you have to realize that, otherwise these mistakes will come. Not only that, when will the whole world become Brahman? When you have overcome all your lower tendencies. People take to criminal means why? Because they are having greed, they are having some wrong tendencies, that is why they are taking to criminality. Now a person who has become even Sattva Guni, he has come over all those tendencies already, he has crossed over those. And further also he has become transcendental. By remaining, many people say that it is ultimately it is transcendental, so why cannot I become transcendental from the Tamo Guna itself? Why should I have to cultivate Sattva Guna? It is not possible, that is why you have to. The method is all discussed already, that with the Sattva Guna we have to win over the Rajo Guna bondage and Tamo Guna bondage. The question is always we have to ask that, have I won over the bondages, crossed over the bondages or not? Otherwise all our actions can be defended by deceiving ourselves. Because all the knowers' behavior, jnanis' behavior, everything, there will be uniformity. They don't hate the criminals also. They don't hate the criminals. The criminal comes to the jnani also with equal freedom. They approach, because they find here is somebody who will not degrade me or who will not pass any judgment on me. Anyway, so that is the caution. The next one, 23. Udasina vadasino
Udasina vadasino
Gunairyo na vichalyate
Gunairyo na vichalyate
Guna vartanta ityevam
Guna vartanta ityevam
Yo vatisthati nengate
Yo vatisthati nengate.
He says udasina vat asina. I have told before also that he is seated as udasina. This udasina word has come from ut asina. Asina means seated. Asana means seat. Asina means seated. Ut asina means who is always having an elevated, that mind is always in an elevated state. He is not getting bound by anything. That means it's an elevated state. He is always inspired by the highest reality, his own real identity. So one who is sitting in the high pedestal, udasinavat asinaha, gunair-yona vichalyate. The gunas coming and going and playing their role, they will not affect him. They are not making him agitated or anything. Guna vartante ityevam yovatisthati nengate. They think that, as we have studied in third chapter also, I quoted the verses, that it is a play of the gunas, so they don't affect them at all. The person of Gunatita, he will not get affected by the play of the gunas. That is why he can keep so much of poise in the world also. We often get so much affected by seeing some destructive tendencies in the world, or somebody, seeing people also we get so much affected. A Gunatita will not get so much. He will know that this is what it is happening because of that, this is his character, but he will be absolutely, but what can be done? He is like that, he has grown like that. He can try to change himself, but just because he is like that, he cannot. He doesn't have any comment about anybody that way, that he will not hate anybody, he will not specially cling to anybody also, but he will know what is it, and whoever he has to deal with, he will do. This equality doesn't mean that he will go to the criminal's house and stay there and take food there. It is not so. But when the criminal comes to his ashram or so, he will not denounce him. He will very concerned, with lot of concern, he will speak to him what he wants. And it has happened so many times. I have told earlier also, once a boy had come, he was on parole. He had a lifetime prison. So on parole, he came and he heard from somebody, so he came to see Swamiji. So Swamiji asked him that what had gone wrong. He had killed his fiancée with stabbing by. So Swamiji asked that what happened at that time. He says that no, I had completely gone out of my mind. What did you do? Swamiji, I don't remember how many times I have stabbed. I went on stabbing. How many times also I don't know. Maybe she had died even before that. I went on. So I was completely out of my mind. Otherwise the boy was very good. But at a very young age he did it. So he had to pass in the jail. What can be done? Now people are trying correction methods in the jail, and jail is not for punishment but for correction. Some great effort started in Alipur jail in Calcutta, that one famous dance drama composer and dance user, Alakananda Roy. You will find in YouTube beautiful things are there in the YouTube about her. Because in Rabindranath Tagore's book there is a drama called Valmiki Pratibha, the talent of Valmiki. Because Valmiki was a dacoit, and by effect of the saints, the 7 saints, he got completely transformed. So that drama is taking like that, the transformation of a dacoit. So Alakananda Roy actually made it into a dance drama where the criminals, how the criminals will be reformed. And she asked the jailer to allow her to teach to the prisoners, to stage the drama with these prisoners. First to teach them, and then if she is successful, they will. She worked for, even now also I don't know what is happening, but many years she worked, and that happened, it's a coincidence, because at that time the jailer or somebody, I think the main person heading the jail is jailer, or some inspector, IPS officer one. He was also very much after the correction of the prisoners. So that they two together worked there, and it became so famous that then the government allowed them to go to different towns, sometimes in Madhya Pradesh, sometimes in Uttar Pradesh, and stage the drama. All the prisoners, about 16, 17 prisoners, were allowed to travel by train without any bodyguard, or without any, the police or anything like that. So all these are available in the YouTube, very, very good, instructive way. And that started a movement there. And I think now it is in many places they are trying to making the jail a correction center than a punishing center. So that's by the way. He will neither hate nor cling to anybody because of their gunas. He will allow anything. Then 24. Samadukha sukha swasthaha
Samadukha sukha swasthaha
Samaloshtasma kanchanaha
Samaloshtasma kanchanaha
Tulya priya priyo dhiraha
Tulya priya priyo dhiraha
Tulya nindatma samstutihi
Tulya nindatma samstutihi.
Sama dukkha sukha. Sama in dukkha as well as sukha. Often people say that he will not have sukha, he will not have dukkha. If he does not have sukha, then where is the question of being equal in sukha and dukkha? Only when there is sukha and dukkha, the question of being equal in sukha dukkha is there. So he is not a stone that he does not have the feeling of sukha or does not have the feeling of dukkha. Rather, he is much more sensitive. The sukha and dukkha of the whole world, not only his own or his family or his sons, but the whole world, sukha dukkha, he is concerned about, he is touched by that. He sheds tears also. He smiles and becomes happy also. But what is that samatva then? He doesn't cling to sukha, he doesn't hate dukkha. He doesn't run after sukha, he doesn't run away from dukkha. When suffering comes, it is just like waves. Suppose you are the way you are swimming over the water. Now, is it that the water does not have any drowning power? The drowning power will be there. But the joy of swimming will be in swim by going, by annulling the drowning power of the water. By attenuating the drowning power of the water, you can swim. Suppose the water does not have drowning power. Will you like swimming? You swim here, there is no drowning power. On the floor you can swim. So actually, because the water has still the power, by learning to swim, we can overcome that. And in overcoming that is the joy of swimming. Like that, he welcomes everything that comes. Unnecessary, and not unnecessarily, but naturally he takes the dukkha of others also. But he will have his own decision where lies the mangala of the world. So it is not that he will listen to everybody to make him, to please him also. He doesn't worry, he doesn't bother about pleasing anybody or unnecessarily agitating anybody also. In other chapter it is there, Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chayaha. He doesn't become a cause for others' agitation, and others also cannot agitate him. That not become a cause for others' agitation is very important, because by our behavior sometimes we create problem in others. That is why in Bhagavad Gita the cautions are given that, what is that? Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam yoshayet sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharet. That ajnanam karma sanginam, those who are ignorant and they are very much attached to whatever they are doing. They are clinging to likes and dislikes and doing all the world, whatever work they are doing. Don't try to preach them and say that this is wrong. You have to overcome the clinging, you have to do this, you have to do that. By that you will be confusing them. They will lose their even enthusiasm to do what they are doing. So, na buddhi vedam jane, those who are interested in pursuing the path, for them is the advice to be given. Otherwise you can advise them for welfare, well-being, everything, but never should you say that the going beyond, the transcending this or transcending that. Those who are confused here, you have come to get confused. I am not taking the responsibility at that. I have to say here this. So for that, if you get confused by that, I cannot say anything. Next day you don't come. Nobody is forcing you to come. It is not a course also. So sukha dukkha will be there more than others actually. But they are not afraid of sukha. They will never be depressed in dukkha or elated in sukha. That you should know. That sama dukkha sukha means sukha dukkha are there. But he will not be elated when it is happy condition situation, and he will not be depressed by the dukkha. Depression and having the dukkha, that is suffering and depression, there is lot of difference. In suffering, you have to suffer a certain situation which has come. In depression, your ego is getting involved. And why am I suffering? Why God has given me suffering? Then you get depressed. Just by suffering, you will not become depressed. You will gain more strength. Coursing through suffering, we become stronger and stronger internally. Is it clear? Anything? So, swasthaha means he is always seated in the self. Swasthaha. Sthaha comes from the seated. Self-seated we say. Swasthaha means actually self-seated. But in this case, the self is with the capital S. It is not just self-seated in the ordinary sense. He will also be behaviorally self-seated because he is already seated in the actual self. Capital S self, the universal self. Otherwise also, because he is seated in the universal self, he will be always self-seated. Here swasthaha means swasthaha. Swa means our real identity. Stha means he is established in that. Sama loshtasma kanchanaha. This is another misconception. Loshta means a piece of clay, mritkhanda, piece of some lump of earth. Ashma means stone. and Kanchana means gold. So he is equally disposed towards earth or stone or gold. Now, does it mean that he will make the ornaments with the earth or with the stone if he has to make? It's not that. Each has its function. Corresponding function it will be used. He will not be specially interested in gold. One boy had come and staying in our ashram, and Swamiji used to tell everybody some story from Mahabharata, Ramayana, and ask him that what is your reaction, what do you say, all that. So while teaching about Karna, that Karna took the Angarajya given by Duryodhana. So Swamiji was saying it was not right because he was not, there was no reason for which it was given. Duryodhana gave it for a wrong reason, to bribe him or entice him. Not bribe, entice him. So he was not agreeing. So Swamiji said that, okay, you think of a situation. You are walking on the street and suddenly two people came from behind and they gave you 3 kilograms of gold or 5 kilograms of gold. Will you take it? Yes, I will take it. Why? Why not? It is gold. I will take it. Okay, you have taken it. Now just behind these two people, policemen were running. So they find the gold in your hand and they catch you and put you into the jail. No, I will not take that. So the question is that why should you take? Do you deserve the gold to be given by somebody? You don't know the person also. If anybody gives you gold, will you take? Why should you take? What you deserve, that only you should take in a proper condition from an unknown person, and which is not your property also. Why should you accept? So these are happening because of clinging to gold and all. Actually, each has to be serving its purpose. For that you have to use, not clinging to anything, not hating anything. As the gunas are playing in this world, each item is serving its purpose. So allow it to go. Tulya priya apriyaha dhiraha tulya ninda atma samstutihi. As in sukha dukkha, so is in likes and dislikes also. That although they will like, suppose I am always saying that we say that going beyond likes and dislikes. It is true, everywhere this word is used, but actually it is clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike. Likes and dislikes will be there. Will not Swamiji like brahmacharis to behave good, behave well? Or he will like if all the brahmacharis quarrel with each other? There will be a like-dislike will always be there. Will anybody not like a good person who is behaving well and who is praiseworthy like that? So it is not a question of likes and dislikes, but suppose a very good brahmacharin comes. Seeing that, Swamiji should become very happy because he is a good brahmacharin. And it happens also. He is so happy, he hugs him, pats him, and so much he is happy. If a pure person is in, who will not be happy? Particularly as spiritual people, those who have been doing the sadhana for purity throughout their life, they have left everything for purity. Is it not? The job, building, whatever, property, job, family, everything they have left for what? Only to attain the purity. So when he finds somebody really pure or so, will he not be happy? Because he loves purity. If he is not happy, means he doesn't love purity, but he is desirous of purity. This is another very subtle point you should understand. Suppose you find some quality in another person. If you find that you are not able to appreciate that person for his or her quality, that means your love is not for the quality. You are only desiring that I should have that quality. That is why you are feeling jealous when other persons are showing some guna. You are not able to understand. Whenever we see a guna anywhere, a good quality anywhere, if we can appreciate fully, liberally, then we will think that I am also loving that quality. And that quality will adorn you also. If you love a quality, the quality will come in its due time. You will be adorned by the quality also. If you are not able to appreciate that particular quality, means you are really not loving the quality. But you want the quality as a desire, and you are jealous of others when they have the quality. Is it understandable? So, Priya and Apriya means the likes and dislikes naturally will be there, but it is not that clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike. Anything good will be liked by people and bad will not be liked. He is Dhiraha. Dhiraha means Dhiraha is defined in Kathopanishad in a very good manner. It has got two etymological declensions. That one is Dhihi irayati iti dhiraha. Dhihi irayati. Dhyam irayati. Dhina. Dhyam irayati iti dhiraha. Dhyam irayati iti dhiraha. Means whose dhi means buddhi, the understanding. Whose buddhi is always active and attentive. Irayati means we make buttermilk by churning and all. So like that his intelligence is always being churned. That means he is active and attentive in intelligence. So that is, we are not generally, is it not so? We have to activate the intelligence always. Another is Dhyam Rati iti dhiraha. Suppose you have made the intelligence active, but the intelligence often will put you into wrong deeds. Just like a thief or a dacoit, the intelligence, if you keep active, it will say that no, this way the police will come, you go that way, or something or other, they will always direct you. So Rati means one whose the intelligence is, the buddhi is friend of him. That means it will not guide you on a wrong path. One is that intelligence will always be attentive and active. And the second point is, it will always guide me on the right path towards auspicious goal, not taking me away from the auspicious goal. So this dhiraha word is used in spiritual text very often. It means poise also, but where from the poise is coming? It is because he knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. He is intelligent. Before doing anything, he takes the decision. And according to that he proceeds. So will he not be dhiraha in the usual sense of poised also? Because he is suddenly will not do something and then say that I have done the wrong thing, I will not do. Again do something like that. So that is not a dhira. They are not poised. How a person become poised? When he is every moment he is taking the decision, thinking about it and taking the proper decision. That boy as he behaved, that I will take the gold. Next moment he says, no, I will then not take. It is not, he is lacking the dhira quality. He should have said, no, I will think that no, I don't deserve the gold and the person is unknown, why should I take? If it is given by my father, for some reason I know, I will take. Something like that he could have said. So, dhiraha, he will be dhiraha because of this. Tulya nindatma samstutihi. He will be ninda and stutihi. Ninda means maligning. So he is unmoved by if somebody is blaming him or abusing him or speaking ill of him. He is unmoved by that. And atma samstutihi means somebody is praising him, or what is the other way of praise? That is unnecessarily also we praise. Giving him just flatter. He will not be drinking the flattering also and get motivated by that. Because he knows what he is. So whether somebody, if somebody says that, say, he may have a certain quality and somebody has understood and he expresses that, then he will be happy not because of flattering. He will be happy that, well, for which I have struggled, there is somebody to appreciate that. Somebody is there to appreciate. So that will make him happy. Otherwise not. Similarly, if somebody is blaming, he will always think that whether it is true what he is saying. If it is not true, then he will remain unfazed that it is his business. He has blamed, it is not true. And if it is true, then he should thank him also that you have pointed out my defect, so I will correct it. At one time we used to play that in childhood, that if anybody can point out the some defect in our character, then we will give him money. We were quite a few children. We were 5 siblings. So if anybody can point out a real defect in one, A, but say B is pointing out the defect in A, then A will give him some money. Money means those days what? 10 paisa or something. That children, what will they have? So, but it is to encourage people to point out the defects. Generally, the moment defect is, oh, you don't know, you have that defect, I don't have it. But you just opposite, you change your way, say that, well, if you find out the defect, and I will think about it, whether it is true or not. If it is true, I will give you something, gift. Then comes Manapamanayostulyah.
Manapamanayostulyah.
Tulyo mitraripakshayoh.
Tulyo mitraripakshayoh.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Gunatita sauchyate.
Gunatita sauchyate.
So Arjuna's question, the answer is up to this end of the 25th, where he says Gunatita sauchyate. That is, these are the qualities those who have. He is called the transcended the Gunas. Gunatita means one who has transcended the Gunas. This is in reply to verse 21, that is Arjuna's question. In reply to that, 22, 23, 24, 25, up to this is the answer to this. Always when you read, you should relate like that. Question, answer, what was the question, what were the points. Then the last one is Katham cha etan trin gunan ativartate. In the question you will find, first is Kairilingai trin gunan etan atito bhavati prabho kimacharaha. What is his characteristics? What are the other significant qualities? Then the last one is Katham cha etan trin gunan ativartate. How does he become Gunatita? That answer is in the next verse, which I have already done. Again we will do 26th verse. This is important. After discussing the characteristics, he is saying how one will become Gunatita. Because you should remember, Gunatita means one who has overcome the bondages created by Sattva Guna also. So it's not an easy position. Normally we will overcome Tamo Guna and Rajo Guna by cultivating Sattva Guna. But Gunatita, to become Gunatita, he will not cling to Sattva Guna effects also. Sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. Neither to sukha, sattvika sukha, not to sattvika jnana. Those who are considered to be the highest in life, to that also they will not be bound. So how does he become like that is the question. Before that, mana apamanayoho tulyaha. For him, mana and apamana. Mana and apamana means, this here is insult. Apamana is insult and mana means sammana, that is honor as well as insult, dishonour. Honor as well as dishonour. There he will be equal. That means if somebody has given honor, then he will not be elated. Somebody has not given honor, then also he will not be depressed. There also he will behave according to the real nature of the situation. Suppose somebody is just wanting to honor him and call him home and give this, give that, he may not be interested in that. But where a regular honor is given, understanding his position, understanding his qualities or knowledge or whatever, if people honor him, he will be definitely happy. Happy means here is somebody who is giving value to what I represent. Throughout the life, a saint is practicing some value. Which value? The value he has given maximum importance, supreme importance in life. So if he finds another person is also giving importance to that value, naturally he will be happy about it. Happy means he will be satisfied with it. So, mana in not in that sense, but mana when we think that somebody is honoring, he will not be liking to go to a king's court just to be honored or so. He would definitely like if the king listens to him and rules the kingdom properly. That honor he will like, but not just to get honor in the king's court. As Ashtavakra, he was entering Janaka had called a big sabha for all scholarly people and all were seated there. Suddenly Ashtavakra you know to some extent, no? That story? Ashtavakra, because he had 8 bends in the body. The detail I will not go behind, then the story will become long. Because of his father's curse or something, whatever. He was born with 8 bends, but he was one of the greatest knower of his time. And Janaka was his disciple, finally became disciple. So one day in Janaka Raja was very famous, knowledgeable king, was a jnani also in the spiritual sense also. So he used to honor the scholars, the knowers and all. Everybody used to be honored in his sabha, in his assembly. So often there used to be, even Yajnavalkya also would regularly visit Janaka Sabha. That those who have listened to my Guru Purnima lecture from Brihadaranyaka must have known that how he was honoring Yajnavalkya. So when the Sabha was going on, Ashtavakra entered. Now his gait was a very peculiar gait because of the 8 bends in the body. He had a peculiar gait. So when he was entering, he found the whole Sabha laughed. That all the assembled scholars, they all laughed. So when the whole assembly was laughing, Ashtavakra also laughed a lot. That Janaka picked up. He was very, very attentive and keen. Janaka Raja, he was seated there on the throne. He immediately asked Ashtavakra that, you were coming, I understand my people have laughed seeing you, because you have a peculiar gait and form. They have not seen it. But why did you laugh, can I inquire? Then Ashtavakra said that, Janaka Raja, I have heard that you are very scholarly and you are a knower. So in your sabha, that everybody says that all the great scholars and knowers, they come to Janaka Raja's sabha. So I came to see such a sabha where, sabha you understand, such an assembly where all such great people are there. And what I find is that they are all seeing my what? Seeing my body. They don't know who am I or so, seeing my body. Actually, in some cases they used a word, they are all cobblers. That is, body is made of flesh and skin and all. So the cobblers are always working with the skin. No? So those who are clinging to the body only, they are in a way cobblers, that they are handling that way also it is said. So they are only seeing my body and they are laughing. So seeing that Maharaja Janaka's assembly is also made of such fools, I laughed, which is supposed to be the best. Then Ashtavakra understood. Then he called him, honored him, then he became his disciple, and that is how the Ashtavakra Samhita, it is a samvad, it's a conversation between Janaka Raja and Ashtavakra. So we have to understand all these terms very well, that equal in mana and apamana, what does it mean? That he does not have ego. A Gunatita will not have the ego. So by honoring, his ego will not be going up, his ego will not be enhanced. By dishonoring him, he will not have depression of the ego also. If the ego is not there, then they will always know as the things are, phenomenological knowledge. That is, whatever the things are, they will know as it is. Do you understand that? The ego is coming there, which makes us elated and depressed. Tulyo mitrari pakshayoho. Mitra means friend and ari means shatru, means enemy. He is equal to friends and enemies. Does it mean that he will be always inviting the enemies? Or he will send away the friends like the enemies? It is not so. He will not have any partial attitude towards them. Enemy means he has to fight with the enemy. That is what the whole Bhagavad Gita is. Because Arjuna was suffering from clinging to his beloved grandfather, he was refusing to fight. But what can be done when the grandfather is standing on the opposite side because of whatever the reason? The fact is that he is standing on the enemy lines. So we have to fight. If you have to defeat the enemy there to establish the righteous kingdom, we have to fight my grandfather also. Whoever is standing, if my son is standing there, I have to fight him. So that is where the equality of Mitra and Ari is coming in. Whereas Duryodhana also, he has to fight without having any inimical feeling, which Arjuna was having prior to Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise also he had, but his sadhana was to get over that. So, tulyo mitrari pakshayoho. That means that behaviorally whatever to be done he will do, but not with any partial attitude towards that. As I said, in 1947, the military got divided. Many of the best friends became on two different sides. Our military chiefs and their military chiefs, they were friends, very close friends, but they immediately after the division they had to fight, kill each other also. Sarvarambha parityagi. See, this arambha is work, but maybe in the meaning what is given, I don't know. It is desire motivated activity. Arambha means starting, means it is motivated by desire. Otherwise all the work, as I said the other day, it is called kriya. That means it is not desire motivated. You will work, you will do everything, whatever to be done you will do. But when it is desire motivated to fulfill that I will become happy by doing this. As Arjuna was thinking, by fighting the war, I will win the war, I will become a king, and then I will have lot of sukha and I will become happy. That is the desire motivated activity. So sarvarambha parityagi means he will not be doing any desire motivated activity. He has already known that desires are redundant, so he will not also. These are all to be understood in the correct sense, otherwise one will be misled. So Gunatita sauchyate. So all these things you have to tabulate and see that he will be equal to any of the three gunas coming up, going down, etc. His mind will always be seated in a very high pedestal, thinking that it's the whole universe is a causal function of the three gunas. I am nowhere affected by any of them. Guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. He will not run after sukha, he will not run away from dukkha. He will not get elated in sukha, he will not get depressed in sukha. He will always be seated, self-seated. He will, all the materials, it is not only loshtashma kanchana, but anything. He will take everything for its functional value, not with special greed or clinging to anything. Samaloshtashma kanchana. He will be equal to likes and dislikes. That is, he will not cling to what he likes, he will not hate what he dislikes. He will be a dhiraha, poised. He will not be moved by any praise or dishonour or maligning. He will neither look for honour, not be agitated by dishonour. He will not have any partial feeling towards enemy and friend. Partial feeling is not special. The enemy we have to fight, friend we have to be with, do together. But not with any hatred towards enemy or any enmity, as we say. Enmity should not be there. Similarly for the friends also there should not be any particularly. These are and sarvarambha parityagi. He will not do anything motivated by desires. These are the lakshanas of Gunatita. Now come to the 26th verse. Manchayo vyabhicharena
Mamchayo vyabhicharena
bhakti Bhakti yogena sevate.
Bhakti yogena sevate.
Sagunan samatityaitan.
Sagunan samatityaitan.
Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Mam cha yo vyabhicharena.
Mam chayo vyabhicharena.
Bhakti yogena sevate.
Bhakti yogena sevate.
Sagunan samatityaitan.
Sagunan samatityaitan.
Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Yaha cha mam abhyabhicharena. Mam means me. Krishna is saying. Abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Saha etan gunan samatitya brahma bhuyaya kalpate. It's a very important verse. He is saying that how, as I said, Arjuna asked that how he becomes Gunatita. He says that one who worships me or serves me or thinks of me, whatever you can say, sadhana in the form of sadhana, with abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena. Vyabhichara means swerving. Avyabhichara means there won't be any swinging or swerving. That kind of a bhakti yoga. Then what is bhakti yoga? You have to go to chapter 12 and see what are the bhakta lakshanas. That will lead to bhakti yoga. That I am not going there because it's another chapter. But the real bhakti is surrender. It is not going to the temple or doing puja at home or giving 100 items to the deity for food, which I have to take myself or all the worshippers will take. Nothing like that. The real bhakti means surrender. Surrender means taking refuge in the Lord. Lord or Guru or whatever you mean, wherever your bhakti is. Bhakti can be to the Lord, but later on when we take to a Guru, the bhakti is towards the Guru. Surrender means taking complete refuge in the Lord. Now we may say that what is taking refuge in the Lord? If it is Guru, we can say that following whatever the Guru means and whatever the Guru says, following everything without likes and dislikes, without any clinging, without any resistance to follow that. But that also not always will not be seen. A person who is not following any word of Swamiji, we find she also claims that I am very devoted to Swamiji. So how will you find out? So the finding out of this surrender is taking complete refuge. Surrender means. What is the effect of surrender on our mind? If we have taken complete refuge in God, who is running everything in the world, who is the master of everything, then will I be upset in any situation? Both George, it has to be done like that. When I have not passed in the exam or by mistake I have not got first class because of the examiner's mistake also, I will not get upset. If you want to verify the copies again, you apply for it, do. But you should not start shouting, howling, crying or blaming. Nothing can be done. No affectation, but all redress can be taken. It can be taken in a much better manner when the affectation is not there. So, the proof of surrender or you have taken refuge is that acceptance of everything. Whatever happens in life, you have to accept. If you have taken surrender, if God kills my son, I will accept. Our, what is his name? Guruvayur, that song, Unni Krishnan, Pundanam. He did not have a child for 12 years. Then some blessings and all, Guruvayurappan's blessings. He was a great devotee of Guruvayurappan in Trichur. So he got a son. On the first birthday of the son, the first anniversary, because after 12 years he got the son, so naturally lot of people, they wanted to come, and he called also large number of And he was quite well-known person there at Tirumani and Guruvayur temple. So all of them had come with gift and all, they were coming and going and all that. So after they took food, while going, some of the devotees, friends, they wanted to see the child before going. That before going, they will wish well to the child. So where is the baby? So they were looking for where it is to be found. It's not there, not there. Finally, they discovered that the baby was lying on the cot and somehow some gift was thrown on it. So after that, whoever came, they thought that this is the place the gifts have to be kept. So they went on dumping all the gifts over him. So the cot became dumped with all the gifts and the baby died of suffocation underneath. So the Tirumani came and he discovered the baby has died on the festival day of the first year of birthday. So immediately he sang. That is why this song is so famous, that when Unni Krishnan is playing in my heart, why do we need another Unni Krishnan outside? Do you get my point? When the little Krishna is playing in my heart, do I need another little Krishna outside? What is the point in having a child? Unni Krishna is already playing in my heart. You are not able to appreciate? No? So this is what the surrender means. If the child has died, finally whatever might have happened, it is my fault, perhaps we should have told them that don't put the gift there or so, or I was busy somewhere, so it was not looked after somehow. Whatever you may say, it is the house manager's failure. That is true, that can be gone into. But the fact is that whatever reason, it has happened. So if I am surrendered to the Lord, then it has been done by Lord. And if my child had been there, I would have clung to my child and I would have lost my all other surrender and all. Then the child will do this thing, that thing. The whole life would have got changed. Now perhaps for my good only Lord has taken away this child and giving me the suffering. He has taught me also that I should not look for a child, I should look only within. That also he sang because of that. Must be wanting a child. So that was a correction given to him that I should not look outside. Lord is in my heart and I should be. I find many faces are becoming depressed. You are not able to appreciate the greatness of this devotion. So this is the Bhakti Yoga, means that the ultimate of Bhakti Yoga is surrender. And what is the test of surrender? Complete refuge. What is the test of refuge? That you have taken complete refuge in the Lord. Is that you will not have any complaint at all. Even if your husband does 100 mistakes, you will not have any complaint. You can fight with him, that is different. But don't blame your fate. No complaint will be there. That everything has been done by Lord, wherever you have. So, sa gunan samatitya saha etan gunan samatitya brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He attains Brahman. This surrender is the last word in sadhana. If anybody can do it, that is all. Nothing more to be done. I will just read a few shlokas in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th Skanda, 25th chapter in 11th Skanda. The same three gunas are discussed in a similar but different manner. Exactly not like this, but there also it is a complementary chapter for this 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the 14.26. Mam cha yo vyavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Can you show the slide 22? There it is part of Uddhava Gita, Krishna's advice to Uddhava. Almost towards the end of Bhagavatam. Tasmad deham imam labdhva jnana vijnana sambhavam gunasangam vinirdhuya mam bhajantu vichakshanaha. Those who are wise, what do? They, by worshipping me, Mam bhajantu means God is saying that by worshipping me, they remove all the sangha, which we have been discussing so long, clinging towards the guna. Guna sangam vinirdhuya, the washing off all the sanghas to the various effects of the gunas. Tasmat deham imam labdhva jnana vijnana sambhavam. Because the manushya deha, the human body, is capable of knowledge as well as realization of the truth also. It is not only knowledge, that we can know the world, we can, like the scientist, we can do. But the human body is also capable, human intelligence is also capable of inquiring into the I. Who am I? That is inquiring into the Lord, into the God. Who is that God? And get the result, get the fulfillment also. So getting such a body, one who does is, what should he do? A wise person should wash off all the sanghas created by the gunas by always thinking about me, worshipping me, reading about me, talking about me, bhajantu, singing about me. Nissango mam bhajet vidvan
Nissango mam bhajed vidvan
apramatto jitendriyaha
apramatto jitendriyaha
rajastamascha
rajastamascha
sattvasam sevaya munihi.
Sattvasam sevaya munihi.
This I have told so many times over these days. He says that a munihi, a thoughtful person, muni means who does manana, pondering, thoughtful person, he should worship me, or he should think about me, he should think about, deliberate on me. How? He has to be vidwan also, who has undergone the knowledge of the Shastras, etc. Becoming apramattaha. Yesterday we discussed in great detail that pramada means inattentive. Apramatta means who does not become inattentive, who is always attentive. So he is watchful. Because of our inattention, we are not able to detect where we are going wrong in our sadhana also. So we will be able to, the moment something wrong comes, we will be able to detect it. That is the kind of attention which is coming, which should come. Any behavioral defect, you will find that when you are attentive, you will be able to catch it even though it has not come out as in the behavior. When it is rising in the mind, you will be able to spot it. It should be like that. Pramada is that we are missing it. Apramatta means who doesn't miss. Jitendriyaha, this is another, to become attentive to anything, we have to win over our senses. If we are slave to our senses, that will cover up our intelligence, cover up our decision making power. Definitely. If we are led by greed and led by various sense attractions and all, naturally we will not be able to make the right decision in the right place. So jitendriyaha, apramatta, these are the two very important qualities he has mentioned. And nissangaha, that freed of all kinds of clinging. Nissangaha means actually going to solitude. You can interpret in that manner also. But actually, even if you go to the solitude, your sangha we will carry there. You will think of the same family, same grandchildren, and same enemy and friend, and everything will go there. Nissanga means the making the mind free of all attachments. Rajas tamas chabhijayet. Because all these are done, then also you have to change the gunas, the guna constitution. So he has to win over the Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Don't put them on the leading role. Put the Sattva Guna on the leading role to rule over Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Let them come and go. Rajo Guna will come, Tamo Guna will come, they will go. But by cultivating Sattva Guna, you should give the leadership always in the Sattva Guna, to the Sattva Guna, not to the Rajo Guna or Tamo Guna. Rajas tamas chabhijayat sattva samsevaya. By constantly cultivating Sattva Guna. Samsevaya means samyak sevaya. Very well cultivating Sattva Guna, we have to win over the Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Next comes now Sattva Guna you have cultivated. We have told that then Sattva Guna bondages will be there. How that is to be. Next verse. Sattvam cha bhijayet yukto
Sattvam chabhijayed yukto
nairapekshena shantadhihi
nairapekshena shantadhihi
sampadyate gunairmukto
sampadyate gunairmukto
jivo jivam vihayamam.
jivo jivam
This is
vihayamam.
a very good shloka. Sattvam cha abhijayet yuktaha. Yuktaha. I have explained so many times who is a yuktaha, whose buddhi is always anchored in his real identity. Whether he has realized it or not, he knows the characteristics from the Shastras and all. So his mind should always be given to, that the intelligence should always be thinking of the real identity. What are the characteristics? Whenever the other greed, selfishness, blaming tendencies, these are coming, we have to teach our own mind that these are not the things my own. These are all externally, they have come and polluted my mind. But the real mind is free of all these things. My real mind is tremendously powerful, pure. That is what I am. So, to win over the Sattva Guna, Sattvam cha abhijayet yuktaha, one who is connected to his real self, that means always thinks of the real self, shantadhihi, already he has cultivated Sattva Guna to win over the Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. So he has become peaceful also. He is shantadhihi, his buddhi is placid, peaceful. Nairapekshena, this is the main word here. It is the Tritiya here. Nairapekshena. How do you win over the Sattva? Sattvam cha abhijayet yuktaha nairapekshena. Sattvam cha abhijayet shantadhihi yuktaha. That is the person. How? Nairapekshena. By nirapeksha. Nirapeksha means non-expectation. Write down in big bold letter here. Instead of doing the tattoo and all, write down non-expectation, or write down on your person whom you are seeing always on the forehead, like a bindi, non-expectation. Non-expectation means not expecting anything from anybody, from anywhere, anytime. As many you can add. Non-expectation means always satisfied, not expecting anything, whatever is coming, that is the surrender, that is the non-expected. Same, all are same. So what happens to him? Nairapekshena shantadhi, becoming absolutely peaceful in his intelligence. By practicing non-expectation, he should win over the Sattva Guna also. So naturally, when we are having very high Sattva Guna, we will always look for interacting with very Sattvika people, Sattvika food. Now if people are not giving you Sattvika food, will you not take? You have to take a little from there also. You cannot be so much always clinging to that, this I want. Everything he would look for Sattvik. So that has to be won over by nirapeksha, not expecting anything from anywhere, from anybody, anytime. By that what will happen? Sampadyate gunair muktoho. He gets relieved from the bondages of the all the gunas. What happens then? Jivam vihaya, jivaha, jivam vihaya, mam sampadyate. This, you try to remember this. Jivaha, jivam vihaya, mam sampadyate. That means jiva means, whenever we are referring to jiva means, it is encapsulated by the body-mind personality, the small personality, small I. So he says jivaha. Normally we are jivaha. We are thinking that this is my awareness, the I is within me. I am separate from all others and I want this, I want that, etc. That's constricted, small I is always operating in us. Then we are the jivaha. So what do we have to become? From jivaha we have to become Atma or Brahman. That is Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, to become universal. So he says by this winning over the Sattva Guna also by practicing Nirapeksha, practicing non-expectation, the Jiva will, Jivam Vihaya, Jiva will outlive his Jivatvahood, smallness. That small personality will outlive its smallness. And Mam Sampadyate, because Krishna has identified with the universal Atma. So he becomes Atma, he attains Atma, he becomes the Brahman. Have you understood? Jivaha jivam vihaya mam sampadyate. The small personality, small ego I, by outliving its smallness and constricted identity, it attains to me. Me means the Lord, the Krishna, the one who has identified with the universal identity. So that Jiva becomes the Brahman or the Atma. The small Purusha becomes the universal Purusha, whatever you may say. It is a very good way of putting it. Verse you can take by once more. You recite it. Sattvam cha bhijayet yukto.
Sattvam cha bhijayed yukto.
Nairapekshena shantadhihi.
Nairapekshena shantadhihi.
Sampadyate gunairmukto.
Sampadyate gunairmukto.
Jivo jivam vihaya mam.
Jivo jivam vihaya mam.
Jivaha gunaihi muktaha bhutva jivam vihaya mam sampadyate. This is the Anvaya will be like this. Jivaha gunaihi muktaha bhutva jivam vihaya mam sampadyate. In another place in Bhagavatam it is there, the Krishna is telling that Nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam samadarshanam anubrajamyaham nityam puyayeti anghrirenuhihi. He says that the Lord is saying, remember that, Lord is saying a Muni who is nirvaira and who is nirapeksha. Nirvaira is also that who doesn't have shatru and all. Who is a nirapeksha, that means who does not have any expectation, who is always surrendered fully. Such a devotee, Lord is saying that I walk behind him. Anubrajamyaham nityam. Always I walk behind him so that I can purify myself by the dust of that. Lord is saying I can purify myself the dust of that devotee's feet. A devotee who is nirapeksha, who has surrendered to me. It's an expression of the poet, but it's some of the supreme expressions, beautiful expressions we find. That Lord is saying that Nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam samadarshanam. What are the qualities? Nirapeksham munihi shantam nirvairam. Nirvairam is has no enemy. Nirvairam samadarshanam, who is having equal vision. Naturally, if Gunatita will always have equal vision. That is there. Today also we read that's tulya apriya priyo mana pamanayo, all these things, samadarshana. Anubrajamyaham nityam. I always go behind him. Puyayeti angri renubhi. Angri means feet. Renu means the padadhuli, the dust of his feet. So that I can purify myself by the dust of his feet. So I follow him. So he doesn't have to follow Lord anymore. Lord follows him. That is the beauty of surrender. Surrender is to Lord or to Guru or to a buffalo. Wherever you do surrender, it doesn't matter. Surrender is a state of the mind. And what is that state? It means nirapekshata. It means non-expectation. It means always happy, always contented. In suffering also it is contented. It will not clap in suffering, but the suffering it will take with full acceptance. It will suffer, pass through the suffering. Okay, so I could more or less complete it. Prabuddha प्रबुद्धं विमुक्तं विकारादिहीनं प्रसन्नं सदा नित्यबोधस्वरूपं परं निश्चलं निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं भजेऽहं सदानुस्मरामि प्रणौमि प्रबुद्धं विमुक्तं विकारादिहीनं प्रसन्नं सदा नित्यबोधस्वरूपं परं निश्चलं निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं भजेऽहं सदानुस्मरामि प्रणौमि. हरि